You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. We begin tonight with breaking news as the jury reached their verdict just moments ago in the trial of Derek Chauvin. The jury, made up of 5 men and 7 women, heard closing arguments Monday from both the prosecution and defense. They began deliberating at 5 p.m., continued until 9 last night, and continued throughout most of today. The former Minneapolis police officer was found guilty on all 3 counts. Chauvin's convicted of 2nd and 3rd degree murder and manslaughter charges in the May 25, 2020 death of George Floyd in Minneapolis. He's scheduled to be sentenced within the next 8 weeks. The Hazleton Area School District announced today that all schools will be taking a 3-day pause from in-person learning. Superintendent Brian Uplinger said they've seen an increase of COVID-related illnesses across the district. Officials say this isn't an outbreak of COVID, but rather a spike in positive cases. All students will be learning virtually starting tomorrow and will return to in-person learning Monday. Uplinger urges parents to monitor their children's health and keep them home if they're showing signs of COVID symptoms. Lunches will be provided at each of the schools between the hours of 11:30 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. every day. State police charged a Hazel Township woman with child endangerment. 26-year-old Caitlin Helmer allegedly refused to call 911 when her 11-month-old child choked on something and became unresponsive the evening of January 20th. Helmer allegedly texted a woman who rushed to Helmer's home on Vine Street before heading to Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton. There she came upon Hazleton police officers who performed CPR on the infant on the way to the hospital. Hospital staff gave the baby Narcan after learning that both parents used drugs. A toxicology test revealed that the child had fentanyl in his system. Helmer was arrested April 8th and denied bail after being considered a flight risk. A woman from Virginia was flown to a trauma center after an explosion occurred in her RV at Locust Lake State Park. Emergency responders were called to a campsite at the park around 6 Sunday evening. They found a woman, believed to be in her 70s, lying on the ground suffering from face and neck burns. Authorities said there was a substantial explosion in her 2005 recreational vehicle that also blew her dog out the front window. The woman was taken to Lehigh Valley Hospital Cedar Crest, where she was said to be in critical condition. The dog was examined and luckily only sustained minor burns. An investigation revealed the explosion was caused by a propane tank in the rear of the vehicle and was deemed accidental. Weatherly police were called for a report of shots fired last week. A witness said 10 shots were fired in the area of Hill and Laurel Streets back on April 12th. Police reviewed video surveillance, saw a man in a hoodie walking in the area shortly after 2 a.m. and identified the suspect as 33-year-old James Paulin. They located and detained Paulin at a home on East Main Street, where he initially resisted arrest but was eventually taken into custody. He was charged with possession of a prohibited firearm, receiving stolen property, public drunkenness, reckless endangerment, and resisting arrest. He was taken to prison for lack of $50,000 bail. Wilkes-Barre police had a literal mess on their hands following the arrest of an attempted robbery suspect. Officers were called to New Grant Street around 9 Saturday night for a report of an attempted break-in. While on scene, they arrested 43-year-old Junior Marte Olegario for public intoxication. They took him to police headquarters, where he became confrontational and began spitting at officers. He was then placed in a holding cell, where he defecated and flung feces at the officers before urinating on the floor and slipping on his own excrement. He was charged with assault by a prisoner, institutional vandalism, disorderly conduct, and public drunkenness. He was jailed at Luzerne County Prison for lack of $50,000 bail. Lehigh Valley Health Network had to reschedule its mass vaccination drive-through clinic at Dorney Park in Allentown for tomorrow, April 21st, from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. As the threat of severe thunderstorms loom overhead, all 4,000 appointments will be moved to this Friday, April 23rd, at the same time as the original appointment. LVHN understands this may not be convenient for everyone, so those that need to reschedule can do so by calling 833-LVHN-CVD. LVHN's COVID-19 vaccine hotline operates from 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. The Berwick Hospital Center held its first COVID-19 walk-in vaccination clinic on Monday. The hospital had 1,500 Moderna vaccines for the clinic that ran from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., but only 80 people came to get the first shot. The hospital welcomed walk-ins again today and will be welcoming walk-ins again on Thursday from noon to 5 p.m. People can schedule an appointment online, but hospital officials say it's not necessary. Eligible Pennsylvanians are reminded that the deadline to register to vote in the May 18th primary is just 2 weeks away. More than 638,000 Pennsylvanians have already applied for a mail-in ballot, and more than 25,000 Pennsylvanians have applied for an absentee ballot. Mail-in and absentee ballot applications must be received by your county election board by 5 p.m. on May 11th. All eligible Pennsylvanians should make sure that they're registered to vote by 11:59 p.m. on May 3rd to participate in the municipal primary. Voters will be nominating their party's candidates for local government positions, school board, and the judiciary. They can vote at the polls on Election Day from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. For more information, visit votespa.com or call 1-877-VOTES-PA. Former Vice President Walter Mondale passed away Monday. Mondale was born January 5, 1938 in Minnesota, earned a law degree in '56, and started a practice in Minneapolis shortly afterwards. He began his political career in Washington in '64, was appointed to the Senate by '66, and won yet another term in '72. Mondale was an outspoken supporter of civil rights and advocated for many other social issues like education and housing. He was elected vice president and served under Jimmy Carter from '77 to '81, and even threw his hat in for the presidency with running mate Geraldine Ferraro in '84, but lost to Ronald Reagan. He leaves behind his wife Joan and their 2 sons. Walter Mondale was 93 years old. Coming up on Wyln News, details on Hazelton's Little League signups. Plus, Eric Moucheron hits on all cylinders with the latest coaches to join the Golden Bears. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the Wyln Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Liz. I'm 5 years old, and it's gonna rain out. Bye.
Do you like craft beer? Do you want to learn the right way to sample wine? How about checking out a restaurant with a unique flavor or a crazy food challenge? These are just some of the things we are featuring on Wine, Hops, and Road Stops. So, spend some time learning about great wine, great beer, and great food on Wyln TV 35.
What's on TV? Plenty. Wyln TV 35, the best in local programming.
Hey guys, this is Ray Merrill from Blaze Alexander, Greater Hazel. You want cars? We got them. We have the largest selection of pre-owned cars in the area. We have over 160 cars on the ground. Plus, if you're looking to trade your car, if you want to get rid of the payments, it will never be worth more than it is now. whether it is a Ram, a Chevy, a Mazda, a Dodge, a Chrysler. Guys, we will give you top dollar. Your car will never be worth more than it is right now. So don't waste your time. Get down to Blaze Alexander, Greater Hazelton, and see where we take those deals. The other guys won't.
Calling all Little Leaguers. Hazelton's still looking for players. Now our Philip Kaufman has the details on signups.
We're here at Coryell Stadium where the Hazelton Little League is having signups tonight, so don't forget to come over and sign up your kids for America's national pastime.
I'm here at Coryell Stadium, and tonight we have signups from 5:30 to 8. We are in desperate need of Hazelton Little League players. Last year with COVID, it decimated the leagues and no one really got to play. And this year, we want to change that. We want to get on the field and get the kids interacting and out here on the field having fun again and learning. And with the league this year, the more players, the better. And right now, it is a struggle to get them back out here. So again, we're here tonight for signups till 8 o'clock. We're also going to do Friday night, 5:30 to 8 at Coryell Stadium as well. And again, we're just looking for any signups that we can get together and get the kids back on the field.
That's right, folks. The Hazelton Little League will be having signups tonight and Friday night at Coryell Stadium from 5:30 to 8 p.m. All those interested must bring proof of address, their child's birth certificate, and medical insurance information. Registration fees are $65 for the first child, $55 for the second, and $45 for the third. So why should you come out and play? Well, we asked Daniel why he does.
It's a good sport, and I really like it because I get to, it's like a workout. It's fun, and I get to play with my friends because it's fun to play with friends I know, and it's fun to make new friends around where at this place where I play baseball.
So come on down and step up to the plate for Hazelton Little League this season. Reporting from Coryell Stadium with WYLN News, I'm Philip Kaufman.
Thank you, Phil. After a successful Fall Food Fest in November, an outdoor Spring Food Fest was set for Pennsylvanians to get their PA Farm Show food fix in May. The Spring Food Fest will take place in the north lot of the Pennsylvania Farm Show Complex and Expo Center from Friday, May 7th to Sunday, May 9th. Vendors will be open from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. Parking is free and masks are required on site. Keep your social distance while waiting in vendor lines, as food and beverages will be available for purchase to grab and go only. The fest won't have the full traditional farm show food court, but many fan faves will be on site. WYLN's all-time OT hero Marty Burns was drafted to the news for the in-depth analysis of what's happening on and off season across our viewing area. This week he's chatting with Mahanoy area's athletic director and girls basketball coach Eric Moucheron. So let's talk sports. Here's part 2.
Your football team, you had a new coach. Coach Holman resigned. You had to bring in a new coach. So talk about that process and getting everybody acclimated that way.
Just like you hit on, we had a new football coach. We also had a new volleyball coach this year. Emily Barkas took over the volleyball program, so a lot of new faces around the district. Not new to the school, but new to the sports realm. It was a lot of getting them acclimated with how the school runs as a whole, the processes, the procedures, the COVID procedures. It was really, we were all learning together. I look at the Monterey area coaches and myself working as much as I do with my basketball players that we'll touch on later. We were a team. We had to be in this together. We had to follow the guidelines that were put in place, and we had to make sure that we were allowing the student athletes to participate in the safest of conditions.
And as you mentioned, we'll talk about the being girls basketball coach a little bit later, but for these new coaches, you know, they want to implement their own system. Mm-hmm. They want to get the kids to learn terminology because, you know, one coach to another, terminology can be so much different.
Right.
What all did they have to do as far as preparing the kids, not so much even practice, but just getting them familiar with the coach and the coach familiar with the players?
Mm-hmm. A lot of Zoom meetings. We had to get creative with how we did things. We weren't able to meet in large groups at the time. So, like I said, the coaches just had to get creative. They had film sessions, and they really just had to hit the ground running and learn on the fly. A lot of them, it was trial and error. There were times when, by the time the scrimmages came around, they were still trying to implement things, and even into the season, so that by the time they hopefully hit the playoffs, everything's hitting on all cylinders.
Coming up on Coaldale's News Choice, we're talking illegal dumping and littering on this Trooper Talk Tuesday. Plus, leading the way into part 2 with Sandy Kirshner. Stay with us.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice,
everyday low prices,
plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazleton. Everything to make your house a home.
Penn State Hazleton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing, backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
Hey folks, this week on Let's Talk Chiropractic, we're going to have Franmar Duran and Dr. Alex and myself. Let's bridge the gap. I don't want Spanish people to be afraid to come to our office, talk about pregnancy and chiropractic and laser. So come and watch the show.
All Care Home Care, providing quality in home care since 1986. Call and see how their team of licensed physical therapists, skilled nurses, speech, and occupational therapists can provide you with exceptional service in the comfort of your own home. They also offer dietitian, home health aide, and medical social worker services. You have a choice in your health care. For safe, friendly, qualified care, call All Care Home Care today and let their team begin taking care of you and your loved ones.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
From the bottom of our hearts, the WYLN TV 35 family would like to say thank you to all essential workers for your service to our community and for keeping us safe.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our Trooper Talk Tuesday. I'm Philip Kaufman, and we're joined, as always, by State Trooper Anthony Petrosky. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
All right, folks, the snow has melted. We are out on the roads again, and there's something that you might see when you're out on the roads, and that is a lot of litter and trash. Especially for me around this area. I'm driving on the back of Stockton Road, and whew, may I tell you, I mean, it is just littered. And sometimes we need to address that, folks, because on top of just, the typical littering, we also have dumping that's happening. I mean, I think I just saw a washing machine somewhere off on the side of the road somewhere. So we're going to talk about why you shouldn't be doing that, the risks that it causes, and, the fines and penalties that you could pay if you are found to be doing that. So why don't we start off just the general basics that I guess everybody needs to be reminded of why illegal dumping and littering is wrong.
Yeah. Well, obviously legally it's against the law.
Yeah.
But morally, this is the world we live in. This is our area. Why would you want to throw stuff all over it, right? You have to drive these roads every single day and you have to look at that garbage. It's not worth it. Well, let's talk about what can happen. So there's a couple different things that can happen. If somebody dumps a whole lot of garbage in an area, like a lot of drywall or a bunch of garbage bags or a washer like you referenced in an area, somebody calls us, the property owner calls us, and we investigate it. We don't just go look at it and say, yeah, there's not we could do. No, we look into this. We take these incidents very serious because, again, this is the area that we live in, and we want to take care of it. So we do investigations into it. We go around, we look for any cameras in the area, we go through the trash, we look for things, receipts, anything that could help us investigatively make an arrest. And we will arrest you when we find you. We will. Now, illegal dumping can be anywhere from $300 plus. And then you would be liable to pay the property owner to have that removed. And that's not included in the fine. So it could be very, very hefty. Get a dumpster, find somewhere that you could pay somebody to get rid of the stuff properly. It's not worth it. Now, if you throw something out of your vehicle while driving, it's just as bad, right? And that even includes those little cigarette butts. They do not get thrown on the road. You can be pulled over. That's a primary violation for throwing something outside your vehicle, and you could be given a fine of over $100 plus court costs. It is not worth it. Keep a little bag in your car, throw your garbage in there, and then get rid of it when you get home or get somewhere. It's not worth it. Let's take care of the area that we live in.
And are there any dangers that kind of come with throwing something out your window? I mean, I know at least for me, I've seen it happen, and I've had somebody in front of me do it, and it comes like flying back at my car sometimes. Right. I mean, that's a danger, right?
Sure, it is, and it's the shock of it. You're not expecting something to come flying up at your vehicle, so even if it's, a coffee cup, and you throw it and it hits the windshield behind, if you're on the interstate, that could cause that person to have a little chain reaction, and maybe they might jerk the wheel and go off the road. Now they crash because they're not expecting that. And you wouldn't want it done to you, so don't do it to anybody else. So that's why just keep it in your car. When you get home, you get rid of it, but don't throw it on the roadways.
And I guess if somebody's kind of driving and they run into a situation where there's a state trooper, you're going to get pulled over if they see even just the cigarette butt.
Yes.
They're going to get pulled over in that kind of situation.
That's a primary violation. We could pull you over just for that alone if you throw garbage outside your window. Again, this is the world we live in. It's illegal. We can pull you over and cite you for that. And that is a fine. You could plead guilty and pay it. You could plead not guilty and go in front of a judge. But keep in mind, we have cameras in our cars. And when we turn our lights off, those cameras start recording way before that. So we will have it on camera, and we could show that in court. It's not worth it.
All right, folks. Listen, we all know that sometimes having an untidy car is a bit of a pain, but having an untidy environment, an untidy area, having litter all over the place, nobody wants that. So just when you're driving out there on the road, please keep your trash in your car. Find a dumpster, find a trash can to just put it away. Once you're finished driving, you can throw it away, even if you go through a drive-through. I mean, there's many different drive-throughs that have a little trash can at the end of them. You can just toss it all in there. But please keep our environment healthy, keep our area looking nice. There's no reason to be dumping a $300 washer on the side of the road when you're going to be paying more than $300 to do so. So thank you for talking with us.
No problem.
And thank you, folks, for joining us here on Trooper Talk Tuesday on WYLN.
Membership opportunities are now available at the Valley Country Club, 79 Country Club Lane in Sugarloaf. Clubhouse upgrades are in progress and will be ready for the spring. Call Frank Radis for details at 570-233-5328.
Hey guys, it's Ray Merrill. It's Blaze Alexander, Greater Hazleton Mazda. Hey guys, I know what you're thinking. There's a lot of brands out there. You're looking for something all-wheel drive. You're looking for something sporty. You're looking for something reliable. According to Consumer Reports, Mazda has emerged as the most reliable car brand, beating Toyota and Lexus. You might as well get the most reliable car from the most reliable dealer. So if you're in the area, come on down to Blaze Alexander, Greater Hazleton. We are the largest Mazda dealer in central Pennsylvania as far as inventory goes. Check them out online at blazealexander.com. We'll even deliver them to you.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice, everyday low prices, plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazelton. Everything to make your house a home.
We all need a midweek pick-me-up, and WYLN TV 35 is your home for good news on Wednesdays. Catch our brand new special feature Wednesdays on WYLN News and post it on WYLN News Facebook page. Plus, all our good news stories will also be printed in the WYLN TV Pennies Classified Good News Bulletin, distributed throughout the community and digitally on our website. If you have good news to share, contact us to be featured in our special Good News edition. Good events, good people, good jobs, all good news.
WYLN CA35's children's programming is designed with the specific purpose of serving the educational and informational needs of children. In compliance with FCC guidelines, a copy of the Children's Programming Report is on file for public inspection at WYLN 1057 East 10th Street in Hazelton, Pennsylvania during normal business hours. To view the report online, visit fcc.org.
WYLN's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, Sandy Kirshner's leading the way into Autism Acceptance Month for part 2 of this week's series.
And welcome back, folks, to this week's Leading the Way with Sandy Kirshner. So, for those who may not know what your role is, could you explain to anybody watching just what all you do?
That's a long answer. Okay.
Exactly.
So for Children's Service Center, I am a behavior consultant. So I work in the field with children in classrooms, homes, daycares, pretty much anywhere kids go. We go with them, specifically to provide ABA services to help them function, in whatever environment they're in. But then recently, for the last 2 years, we have also been part of the Autism Collaborative Centers of Excellence, and that is the part of my job where I am the Senior Service Navigator at the Hub, at the Autism Family Support Hub. And there we pretty much just provide support to the community. Anyone can call and ask questions. So if a family is looking for services, looking for recreational opportunities, looking for someone to cut their child's hair that is sensory friendly, all of those things, we can help guide them to services. And then we also offer some resources, both ourselves and with partnerships in the Hub, like a therapeutic lending library. So my role in the Hub is just to manage all of that and connect the resources.
Nice. And so, and everybody kind of interacts, and you're kind of the head
yeah.
honcho.
I am directing, yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right, folks. Check back tomorrow night as Sandy continues leading the way into part 3 of this week's segment. Good night.
And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page or WYLNTV.com. We can also find LVHN's real facts about COVID-19. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.